Good evening, fans, and welcome to another exciting Channel 22 sports presentation featuring the very best in South Bay High School sports. Tonight, we're at Leuzinger High School at Olympian Field as the Leuzinger Olympians host the visiting Inglewood Sentinels in a key Bay League matchup. Both teams coming to this contest looking for a win, coming off of tough defeats. Leuzinger last week at the hands of Miracosta, and Inglewood to the pasting of Peninsula by a score of 56-6. But it's a new week and a new start. This promises to be a very exciting game. We had a chance to talk to Coach Bobby Greer of the Leuzinger Olympians before the game, and I'll share with you some of his comments as we go through the contest. The Olympians now taking the field. Leuzinger, of course, right now without a win, 0-4 overall. As you look at the Bay League standings, there you see Leuzinger 0-1 in league play, 0-4 overall. Right above them, of course, is Inglewood, also winless in league play, but they're 2-2 overall. Hawthorne, of course, gets a chance this week to take on the Miracosta team that actually is a very good team. Leuzinger played Miracosta last week fairly close for 3 quarters, trailed at the end of 3 by a score 20-14 before finally losing by a score 34-14. Leuzinger's had a couple of tough defeats, so that 0-4 record, I'm going to tell you, fans, as someone who's followed this game, is quite deceptive. But we're getting ready for our opening kickoff. Leuzinger Olympians will be receiving. Back to receive for the Olympians, number 2, Johnson, along with Therian Fontenot, number 7. And number 5 on the far end is Chad Foster. Of course, the feature player in this Leuzinger offense is Therian Fontenot, and you'll hear us call his name several times tonight. Starting quarterback for the Olympians tonight will be number 10, David Marshall. And the referee's done with his housekeeping, and we're ready to get underway, fans, right here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. Kicks taken at the 15, and it breaks through. And Leuzinger takes the opening kickoff out to midfield, as that was Chester Johnson with an excellent return. Chester Johnson, 5'9", junior for the Olympians. Also plays D-back. So the Olympians start with excellent field position at the 50. There you see Chester Johnson on your screen. As I said, 5'9", 175-pound junior. Looks like we had a penalty on the play while our heads were turned. So clipping is the call against the Olympians. That'll back them up to the 35. Good field position nonetheless. So it's 1st and 10 for the Olympians. David Marshall, the quarterback. Hands it off, dive to the middle of the line, goes nowhere. Pickup of maybe half a yard. One of the keys for the Olympians, fans, and this comes directly from Coach Greer, is that what they'd like to do is run the ball. There was Tavita McCalla with the carry. McCalla, I should say. He and Fontenot comprise the backfield, along with Marshall. Marshall, the quarterback, is number 10. Fontenot is number 7. Option play this time, quarterback keeper. Fontenot comes around. It's going to be out near a 1st down. Looks like it may be about a yard short. That'll make it 3rd down, and they're going to call it 3rd and 2 for the Olympians. This contest just getting underway, fans. If you're just joining us, we're in first quarter of a scoreless game. We've got 10:50 left here in the first quarter. Big 3rd down play for the Olympians. They keep it on the ground once again. This is Fontenot. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and he's actually going to lose ground on the play. So the Olympians, after starting with good field position at their own 35, failed to convert on the 3rd and 2, and now find themselves needing to punt it away.
So it's 4th down punting situation. Back to punt. Chaz Foster, he's standing on his own 28-yard line.
Handling punting duties for the Olympians. Number 5, Chad Foster. And he gets it away. Pretty good punt. Lands at the 30-yard line before it scoots out of bounds. Looks like they're going to put it exactly at the 28. So, Leuzinger's first possession, they failed to draw a first down, but they did get off to a good start. And Inglewood, the Sentinels, now go on offense for the first time tonight. Let's take this moment to set our officials for tonight's contest. The referee is Frank Johnson. Umpire Willie Smith. Rick Artigas is the head linesman. Demetrius Upshaw, the back judge, and Mike Lyman, the line judge. Jonathan Carrington, number 10, is a quarterback for the Sentinels. They come in a line formation. There was a lot of movement, no flag on the play. Losing the defense right there to stack it up for no gain.
At the bottom of the tackle, Harry and Fontenot playing both sides of the ball tonight. Actually allows him a half-yard on the play. They'll call it 2nd and 11 from 27.5-yard line.
So it's a So the Olympians perhaps drawing a little extra inspiration from making their first appearance of the season on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. I'm sure if we look back in the stats, we could compare their TV record very favorably. This time they come with 4 wide receivers. Excellent pursuit by number 22 for the Olympians. Got a flag on the play, but that was David Brown, 5'11" defensive end for the Olympians, who got in there with the sack. Let's see what the flag is. There you see David Brown, sophomore, playing defensive end. And they're going to call. And you see the referee, Frank Johnson, giving you the holding call. There you see Brown coming totally unblocked. Hits a quarterback from the blind side. Flag comes in late. Let's see what the decision is that the Olympians make. Do they have them pick up the flag?
Holding on the offense. Decline. Second down.
As might be expected, Leuzinger declines the penalty. And that's going to make it a 3rd and 17. 9 minutes left here in the first quarter, fans, on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. This broadcast brought to you courtesy of the Lawndale City Council and, of course, the Lawndale Cable Usage Corporation. Leuzinger defense looking to hold here on 3rd and long. They drop back, they show pass, they go deep, and it's incomplete. Receiver had no idea where the ball was. I'm not sure if that's a flag on the play. Apparently it isn't. No flags on the play, so it's going to be a 4th and 17. Leuzinger should get this in excellent field position. That pass from Carrington was intended for Tyon Gilmore, number 1, whose head was turned the wrong way. Chester Johnson back deep for the Olympians. And ball's going to be down by the Sentinels. Leuzinger didn't have a return opportunity, but Leuzinger is going to take over 1st and 10 at the Sentinel 48-yard line. We've got 8:28 left in the first quarter of a scoreless contest. This is Leuzinger's 2nd possession of the game. Leuzinger sends 4 receivers this time into into the play. To fake to keep it on the ground, the Fontenot picks up maybe a yard on the carry. Leuzinger trying to disguise the running game there. One of the things that Coach Greer did tell me before the game was that they prefer to run. They've been forced to pass much more often this season than they would like to. And we see early on, as a matter of fact, Leuzinger is yet to throw a pass, this being their second possession of the game. Once again, they put 4 receivers in the set. And once again, they keep it on the ground. This is Fontenot. And right now, Fontenot unable to get started as he's going to lose about 5 yards on the play back to the Leuzinger. Well, they're going to say his forward motion was stopped right at midfield. So this is going to be 3rd down and should be 13. Here you see it from ground level. There you see the pursuit there, and they get Fontenot hemmed in, has absolutely no place to go. And amongst the many Inglewood defenders, there was number 20, James Allen. 3rd down and 12 for the Olympians now. They look to pass. Here's a pass in the flats. Not going to be enough for the 1st down, so Leuzinger will be forced to punt. That pass was completed, however, to Alpha English, 6'2" senior. So once again, dropping back the punt for the Olympians, it's going to be number 5, Chad Foster. Back to receive for Inglewood, number 8, Andre Bowman. Excellent punt. Takes a bounce at the 10. Looks like it was touched. What's the call here? This will be an interesting call. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It was touched by an Inglewood player, and it's going to be Leuzinger ball. The Inglewood return man made contact with the ball, and it was recovered by number 8 for the Olympians, Tavika Mikhaila. Here we're going to see the replay again, and there you see the contact. And on the recovery there for the Olympians, Tavita Mikhaila. Leuzinger, 1st and goal. Golden opportunity here. Now you see Fontenot starting to get his running feet under him as he gets down to the vicinity of the 5-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal for the Olympians. Big turnover. And that was, and there you see Theory and Fontenot there on your screen. Junior tailback. Most people consider him the best player on this Olympian team. This time he lines up as the deep back in the I formation. Leuzinger sends a man in motion. They hand it off to Fontenot, the 2nd man through. And Inglewood was waiting for him. They say there was a fumble on the play. Looks like his progress had been stopped to me. And Fontenot makes the tackle. So Leuzinger looks a gift horse in the mouth and turns it back over to the Sentinels, and they're going to take possession at their 20-yard line. Let's see if his forward momentum was stopped here, fans. That's pretty close. That clearly looks like the forward momentum had been stopped. You hate to be critical of the officials, but quite frankly, that was a bad call. Nonetheless, it gives the Sentinels possession at their own 20-yard line. So they dodge a big bullet. There you see the ball at ground level right on the 20-yard line. They drop back to pass. There's a pass in the flat. The intended receiver was turned in the wrong direction. And of course, that's Sandy Fletcher. Fletcher, of course, a 6'3" senior, 185-pound key player for the Sentinels. Miscommunication there between the quarterback, Jonathan Carrington, and his wide receiver. Incompletion will make it 2nd down and 10 for the Sentinels. Here in the first quarter, fans, we still got 5:26 to go in a scoreless contest between the Leuzinger Olympians at home versus the Inglewood Sentinels. This time to keep it on the ground. Big hit put on by the Leuzinger defense. With the big hit for the Olympians, that's their best defensive player again. Tavita McCullough with the hit. Got the feeling we're going to be calling Tavita's name quite often on defense tonight. So it's going to be a 3rd down and 10 now for the Sentinels. Quarterback drops back to pass, rolls out, fakes the pass. He's going to be sacked. There's number 22 for the Olympians on the sack.
David Brown with the sack.
Of course, we know that that's David Brown. There you see him, 165-pound sophomore. That's the 2nd time we've called David's name tonight. David getting a lot of FaceTime here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. As you watch the replay, you see him fight off 2 defenders. Carrington attempts a pump fake. Brown doesn't bite on it and gets in with the tackle. Here's a kick, boy. Talk about a sidewinder. And the pickup is made by Foster, and Foster returns at about 6 yards. Leuzinger is going to have possession, 1st and 10 at the, what would appear to be the 30-yard line. And that's what it'll be, 1st and 10 for the Olympians at the Inglewood 30-yard line. So Leuzinger, this being their 3rd possession, has actually had good field position all night. They've yet to capitalize. Let's see if this is their opportunity. David Marshall brings him up to the line of scrimmage. The backs are split this time. They give it off to Fontenot, keeping it on the ground. One thing to keep in mind, fans, as you see Leuzinger keep the ball on the ground, is that they do have a depth problem. They don't have a lot of players, and depth tends to become an issue in terms of players getting tired deep in the 4th quarter. We'll see if that comes into play for the Olympians tonight. This time they operate out of the I. They give it to the 2nd back through, and that's big number 1, Lamar Johnson with the carry. Johnson picks up a 1st down.
That's good enough for a Leuzinger 1st down.
As it moves them inside the 20.
Stafford makes the hit for Inglewood. So the Olympians on the move inside.
There you see the carry by Johnson, and the tackle being made by number 5 for the Sentinels. That's Patrick Stafford. Ball's inside the 20 at about the 19 where it's 1st and 10. And we got flags on the play. Looks like it may be too much time. Our referee Frank Johnson will give us the indication. And it's going to be offside against Inglewood. That 5-yard penalty will make it a 1st and 5 for the Olympians now. As I've told you, fan, this Olympian record coming into this contest of being winless at 0-4 is quite deceptive. And right now, they're playing some pretty good football on both sides of the ball. Look better defensively than they are offensively. But it looks like they're starting to feel it. See, the play is stopped there. Forward progress. That's the same thing that happened on the last play when Fontenot fumbled, but the play should have been blown dead, and it took forever this time for him to blow the play dead. Here you see on the replay. Let's give you an idea of when this should be blown dead. Right there where the forward progress is stopped, and particularly now that you see a couple of defenders and all the momentum is going backwards. That's the end of the play. It's essentially the same concept as calling the quarterback in the grasp. We got a personal foul against the Sentinels.
Personal foul on the defense. First down. So that will move the ball half the distance to the goal line.
They're going to spot the ball at the 3-yard line. It's going to be first and goal for the Olympians from the 3. And they drop back to pass surprisingly here, and of course they overthrow it. Bit of an interesting call there by the Olympians on first and goal from the 3, that you go to the pass. There you see your clock. 2:02 left in the first quarter. Scoreless contest. Second down and goal now for the Olympians. This time the backs are split. They keep it on the ground. And, wow. Still no call, no touchdown apparently. McCullough with the carry didn't get in as we watch some of the many Leuzinger fans here tonight. Actually, pretty good crowd. There you see the replay. Hits the hole pretty good, and somewhere or another gets stacked up in there. And quite frankly, I'm glad to see him come out of there without an injury. I say that, fans, because I've seen a lot of guys when they start to get bent back like that incur some serious injuries. So it's now a third and goal for the Olympians. Wow. And that was Fontenot with the carry, and he doesn't get in either. So the Sentinel defense, you got to give them some credit too, because they've had their backs completely against the wall twice tonight on defense, with Leuzinger having first and goal. There you see Fontenot being met head on, first by number 5 for the Sentinels, Patrick Stafford. Then some of his fellow defenders coming in to help him clean up. Let's take one more look at that replay again. There you see Stafford get in there.
Right, the Olympians going for it.
So the Olympians on 4th and goal from the 1, they're going to go for it. They keep quarterback, keep a bootleg. He should have this. Touchdown for the Olympians. David Marshall with the carry. And with 21 seconds left in the first quarter, Leuzinger, as you take a look at David Marshall there on Lawndale's Community Cable Toronto 22, strikes first and goes ahead by a score of 6-0. You can normally roll the dice so many times before it comes up snake eyes. And that time it came up snake eyes for the Sentinels. Olympians going for the deuce here. They fake the handoff, quarterback keeper, and it doesn't get in. So the score, 6-0 in favor of the Olympians with 21 seconds left in the first quarter from Olympian Field on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. And there you can see the Leuzinger marching band getting in the spirit of things. Leuzinger now preparing to kick off. And amongst his many duties, Therian Fontenot also handling kickoff duties for the Olympians. Back to receive is Gilmore, number 1, and Fletcher, number 4 for the Sentinels. Kick is going to be short, taken by one of the upbacks, who heads this way. He's giving up ground, giving up more ground, still on his feet though. before he's finally brought down by number 74 for the Olympians. That was Pedro Lopez. Somebody stood him up for Lopez, and Lopez knocked him down. Good going, Pedro.
And just about the 19-yard line.
So we got 11 seconds left here in the first quarter, fans. Leuzinger right now leading by a score of 6-0. Carrington, number 10, still at quarterback. As you might expect, they keep it on the ground. There'll be very little gain on the play for the Olympians as he runs right, for the Sentinels, as he runs right into the heart of that Leuzinger defensive line.
Off the carry from Sion Gilmore. Call it a gain of 2 on the play, 2nd and 8.
Want to offer our congratulations as well to my former broadcast colleague, Jason Miller, now working the sidelines for the Olympians. So Jason, who started his career on the sidelines at Leuzinger as a player, after graduation came up to join us in the booth, and now has migrated back down to the sidelines. We hope to get you a shot later of Jason pacing the sidelines. Also coaching the junior varsity, works with the defense on the varsity. And there you see, after one quarter, our score, the Olympians 6, the Sentinels nothing, on Lawndale's Community Cable, Channel 22. Catch the deuce, won't you?
All right, Leuzinger, we're going to do a spirit cheer. We need all of you guys to help us out. Come on. We're going to say, oh, Olympian fans, say what you say, say what you say, say what you say. Oh, Olympian fans, say what you say. Leuzinger, help us out. Say what you say, say what you say.
Okay, second quarter action now getting underway. Second down and 8 for the Sentinels. This time they're moving east to west.
Pass is intended for number 3, Marvin Banks.
Marvin Banks looking for a flag from the official. No such call. Thought he had been interfered with by Alpha English, the free safety for the Olympians.
So it's 3rd and 8.
There you see Carrington dropping back the pass, throws out in the flat. And I see some idea now why Banks may have thought he should have drawn the flag. Nonetheless, the incompletion makes it a 3rd down and 8 now for the Sentinels. This time they put a wide receiver in the slot. Pressure there once again by number 22 for the Olympians. Ball came loose, but I certainly think it was dead.
Brown from the Olympians. With both
Once
guards.
again, that was Brown, the junior defensive end, putting the pressure on for the Olympians. Let's look at the replay. There you see Brown. I mean, this guy has been a terror all night.
Who's going to win this game tonight?
So
Leuzinger.
Yard line.
that makes it the loss makes it a 4th and 17. Sentinels to punt once again. And this is going to be a very short punt. It goes high up in the air, but it has no distance. Leuzinger needs to get away from it. Not sure what 61 is trying to prove.
Just shy of the 30.
Right. That's right. Let's see. That was Lance Howard for the Olympians. There's no reason to be anywhere near that ball. And there you get a shot of the many Leuzinger fans here tonight on a very balmy night in Southern California. Great night for football. As we watch to our north, coming in from the east, planes landing at LAX, world's busiest airport, or certainly one of them. So it's going to be Leuzinger ball, 1st and 10.
Automatic first down.
Whoa. We got a personal foul call against the Olympians.
Officials place the ball
Let's see what we got here, fans.
25-yard line. First and 10 Sentinels.
And the key was when this personal foul occurred, and right now, the officials are trying to sort it out. It seems to be some confusion as to whether it was a post-possession foul or not. And they're saying that it wasn't. The referee gives the indication that the foul was against the Olympians prior to the change of possession. So it's going to be Inglewood maintaining possession and, of course, the automatic first down. Tough break there for the Olympians. There you see Coach Greer with a look of exasperation on his face. Or at least from the side we see. I know Coach Greer pretty well, so even though we couldn't see his full face, I can tell you what it looked like. He was not happy with that call. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Sentinels. This time they go to the pass. They're looking long. Good coverage there by number 2 for the Olympians. That was Chester Johnson.
Fletcher. We have a new quarterback in there for Inglewood. That's Brandon Grant, number 18.
And the Sentinels have made a quarterback change
Chester
as
Johnson on
as they've gone to number 18, Brandon Grant.
So that'll be 2nd and 10.
And Grant is a freshman, a sophomore, fans. So the Sentinels decide to go with Brandon Grant, 170-pound, 5'11" sophomore. And they changed from the senior quarterback, Jonathan Carrington. Let's see if this is just a temporary measure. Grant drops back to pass, passes out in the flat, hits his receiver. And they pick up the first down on the play. So the Sentinels moving the ball just a little now as they get it out to the Leuzinger 39-yard line, which is going to be 1st and 10. We've got 10:42 left in the first half. Leuzinger leads by a score of 6-0. And there you see the Leuzinger band under the graceful direction of Mr. Foratani. And they have performed quite capably for the last several years here. A lot of movement, and looks like this should go against the Sentinels. Bleed number 1, Tyon Gilmore, moved in the backfield. And as most of you fans in the Channel 22 viewing area know, there's a new high school in Lawndale. We now have Lawndale High School, which just opened this school year, which means there will now be 3 schools in the Lawndale-Hawthorne area, which will be featured on Lawndale's community cable channel 22 Sports. Got a fumble on the play. And he bounces off, should have stayed where he was. Now it's going to be a big loss on the play. Couple of guys in there. You had David Brown, of course, in there. You also had, for the first time, we don't have his number in our program, number 44. Here you'll see on the replay. That's where he should have cut his losses right there and gone down. Once you get in the grasp with David Brown, that's it. You ain't going nowhere once Brown wraps his arms around you. So now it's a 2nd down and 25 for the Sentinels. This series of downs started, this particular set of downs, I should say, not series, started at the 40. There's a pass out in the flat, and that's going to go for a loss. So right now, the replacement quarterback, Grant, not having any more success than the starting quarterback Carrington had. Here you see him trying to set up the screen. Not done very well, obviously, with the Leuzinger defender, that being Lamar Johnson, the senior, in on the play. So now it's a 3rd down, 29 for the Sentinels. Grant again in trouble and goes down. So this whole series of downs went backward for the Sentinels. Now you can understand why last week, as you look at the frustration on the face of their quarterback who came in to replace the starter, that quarterback there is Grant, who replaced Carrington. Chad Foster, and that would look like it was blocked. Unless
So the Olympians with excellent field position.
so.
Inside the 20, call it the 16-yard line, 1st and 10, Leuzinger.
So Leuzinger takes possession on a very strange play, quite frankly. They take possession at the 16-yard line. Let's look at this punt attempt right here again, fans. There you see, we caught the tail end of it. So now we've got a timeout on the field. That timeout being taken by the Sentinels. And with 7:37 left in the first half on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22, with the Olympians leading by a score of 6-0. And there you see the Olympian flame, which shines ever so brightly at every Olympian home football game. Leuzinger cheer squad getting the game, getting the crowd enthused and pumped up. That's not a member of the cheer squad. Nice looking young lady, but she's not a cheerleader. And in this era of gender equity, that was the water girl. Fontenot with the carry, trying to hit the corner. Juking and moving. It's going to finally be brought down. Fontenot doing a lot of east-west running, not enough north-south running on that play. Here you're going to see the carry again. Now watch him, see? Here he's heading east-west. You'll see him turn back. Got to go up and down the field. Going across doesn't gain you anything. Exactly 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Leuzinger again keeps it on the play, on the dive play. And that's going to be stopped for a very short gain. On the carry for the Olympians, Davida McCalla. And that's going to make it a 3rd down and 2 for the Olympians now. Olympians once again keep it on the ground. It's going to be pretty close. McCalla again with the carry. Leuzinger's got a couple of big guys on the offensive line. I'm not sure right now about what the experience level is. As the season goes along, fan, we'll develop this team for you, and before it's all over, you'll be quite familiar with all the players on the team, and we'll do some more research and get some more information. Because with the size of these guys, they should be blowing open some pretty big holes for the Leuzinger running game. And let's see, it was a first and goal for the Olympians. We don't see an indication yet.
Stafford makes the hit for Inglewood.
So that's going to make it second and goal for the Olympians. Looking at the far sideline marker, looks like the Olympians are about at the 3-yard line. So it's second and goal for the Olympians from the 3. Okay, there's the handoff to Fontenot.
Check 1, 2, check 1.
And the fact that they're keying on Fontenot is not, it certainly doesn't come as a surprise. That's good scouting. And so while it looks like Fontenot may be having a tough game, one of the obvious facts is that the Sentinel, under their head coach, Bob Sharp, have scouted this Leuzinger team. They know that Fontenot is the feature back in the Leuzinger offense, and they've been keying on him all night. And it's been hard for him to get off the dime. This time, Michaela is the up back in the I formation. Fontenot deep back, and you got a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be encroachment against the Sentinels. They started to show blitz, and the guy showing the blitz came across the line of scrimmage. Half the distance to the goal, still makes it a third down. Puts it at about the 1-yard line. Another quarterback keeper now. Here's the pitch to Fontenot, and the side judge was right there, and he obviously didn't get in. The play was right in front of the side judge, so it's going to be a 4th and goal for the Olympians now. So it's a 4th and goal for the Olympians. Ball inside the 1-yard line. And you got a timeout now being taken by the Olympians as head coach Bob Greer heads on the field. And Leuzinger doesn't have just one water girl. They've got a whole crew of water girls. All right, so with 3:45 left in the first half, Leuzinger leads by a score of 6-0 over the Inglewood Sentinels right here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. Leuzinger coming out of this timeout with a 4th and goal. Will be seeking a touchdown here, obviously. We don't see the field goal unit on. And it's from inside the 1. I can tell you, fans, if we can get a shot of that, that has to be no more than 1.5 feet from the goal line. The Sentinels trying to make a goal line stand here. Leuzinger keeps it on the ground, takes it up the middle. There's got to be a touchdown somewhere in there. And they say no. They say the Sentinel defense held. That's the indication from the referee, the early indication, and that's what stands. Boy, let's see. Difficult to see from that angle. Here we take another view, fans. Like I said, they only had 1.5 feet to go. I tell you, boy, that's reminiscent of the old Cleveland Browns defense there. And that's what the Sentinel defense has done all night. Let's give them some credit. They've done a lot of bending. Of course, their offense has put them in tough positions all night. And here, Leuzinger had first and goal. And can't get it in on 4 tries. So with 3:36 here, things still very precarious for the Sentinels because they've shown very little ability thus far to be able to move the football. And there's a fumble on the play. Let's see. And it's going to be Leuzinger football. They didn't recover in the end zone. The ball had come out of the end zone. So it's going to be Leuzinger ball, first and goal. Let's see where they spotted at.
Pick up to number 55. That's Moy. Bo Moy. Right at the 1, first to goal, Olympia.
And as we can see, our cameraman's in preseason form. So nonetheless, it's Leuzinger's ball, first and goal from the 1-yard line. Weren't they just in this position a minute ago? Quarterback keeper. This has to be the toughest foot to make I've ever seen.
That's a Leuzinger score. Olympia.
Then the Olympians finally give the indication with 3:19 that Marshall, on his second touchdown of the game, gets it across. So it took Leuzinger 5 downs and 2 possessions in order to pick up the touchdown. But there you see David Marshall, the junior, 6'2", 180 pounds, playing quarterback tonight. Also plays wide receiver for the Olympians. And he's got 2 touchdowns toward the Olympian cause. Once again, they'll go for 2. This time he drops back to pass. Let's see. Keeps it up, passes it over, and it's incomplete as it splits 2 Leuzinger receivers.
So at 3:19 of the second quarter, it's Leuzinger 12 and Inglewood Sentinels nothing.
So once again, 3:19 left in the first half. Leuzinger on another QB keeper leads now by a score of 12-0. I tell you right now, their quarterback playing a very good game. That, of course, being David Marshall. He's vying with David Brown for first half player of the game honors. Brown has been huge on defense for the Olympians. And Marshall having scored both of their touchdowns. Let's look at it one more time at David Marshall's. No, this was a 2-point conversion attempt that was incomplete. Ball went between Alpha English and Therian Foster. There's the kickoff taken by number 8 for the Sentinels. And he's brought down by number 86 and number 53 for the Olympians. 86 isn't in our program, but 53 is. That's Derek Winston, the 5'9" sophomore.
The ball was right at about the 15-yard line. First and 10 Inglewood.
So they spot the ball at the 15-yard line where it's going to be first down and 10 for the Sentinels. Sentinels staying with Grant at the quarterback, and there's yet another fumble, and we don't see an indication yet. Sentinels maintain possession. And the Leuzinger defense doing exactly. Here you're going to see the pitch. Okay, so the fumble would have occurred on the pitch. However, Sentinels successfully recovered. And that's one of the things that Coach Greer told me before the game, that they wanted to cause turnovers. And so far, they've done a pretty good job of it. Now we see another timeout being taken by the Sentinels with 2:31 left here in the first half on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. Our score, Leuzinger 12, Inglewood nothing. So as we come out of the timeout with 2:31 left, Leuzinger leading by a score of 12-0. And now we got a flag on the play, indication that it's going, the early thinking is that it's a false start against the Sentinels. Referee Frank Johnson will give us the indication, and that's what it is.
Illegal procedure is called against Inglewood. On the offense, repeat the dance.
So it makes it a 2nd down and 17 for the Sentinels now. They drop back to pass. Pass is too high. Intended for number 4. And of course, that's Sandy Fletcher. Fletcher right now has a couple of words for his quarterback. Of course, the quarterback is sophomore Brandon Grant. Makes it a 3rd down and 25 now. Ball's at the 1-yard line. Let's call it a 3rd and 23. Once again, the drop back to pass. Pass is dropped. It was completion. Would have been far short of the 1st down. That was Stafford with the reception. Well, actually, he dropped it. So that makes it a 4th down and a whole lot for the Sentinels right now, who've been unable to generate any offense tonight, fans. Chad Foster, number 5, back to receive the punt for the Olympians. Pretty decent kick this time. Foster's going to let it bounce. Inglewood needs to down it right away. Is heading back toward them. And Leuzinger will take possession. It's Olympian ball inside the 30-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 28-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Olympians with 2:09 left here in the first half. And I'm Rufus Washington, working alone tonight on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22, a la Vin Scully. Olympians with a single back. This time they pass it. Hits his receiver. Big hit put on by number 21, Robert Malone. But Alpha English holds on to it. Give a lot of credit to the hitter and the hittee. Here you'll see it on the replay. There's a pass out in the flat. And as soon as he turns around, and he's got some running room. Their quarterback for the Olympians, David Marshall, running what we'll call the Marshall plan. The play was busted. Marshall improvising on that play.
Leuzinger first down.
There you see Marshall turning the quarter, doing a little directing there. This time he gives it to Michaela.
Handoff to number 8, Davida Mancalo up the middle.
So we got 1:17 clock running left here in the first half. The yardage indicator is that the ball is at the 10-yard line. It's time to drop back pass, throws it over the middle, and it's a touchdown.
And that's good enough for a Leuzinger touchdown.
That touchdown goes to Chad Foster.
10 yards pass completion from number 10.
And we got a flag on the play, though. There is a flag on the play. And let's see who this flag's going to go against. Looks like they're bringing it back.
Penalty against the Olympians.
Referee Frank Johnson is going to give us the call. I believe he said an illegal shift
Second down
on the offense.
and 6 from 15.
So it's a second and goal for the Olympians from the 15. Marshall drops back the pass. Here's another flag. And overthrows his intended receiver, Chad Foster, but let's see what this flag's about. Leuzinger, which has played pretty good here in the first half. Actually, it's been a fairly penalty-free game, except for these last couple of plays. And Frank Johnson, the referee, indicates that the call is holding against the Olympians.
Holding on the offense. Repeat second down. Timeout Blue. So we have timeout Leuzinger. Penalty goes against the Olympians.
So Leuzinger now calls a timeout, as it's going to be second and a whole lot. Leuzinger now backed up to their 35-yard line. They can pick up a first without picking up a touchdown, but they'd have to get down to about the 3-yard line to pick up the first down. And right now the ball is spotted officially at the 34-yard line. So it looks like it's about a 2nd and 31. Scoreboard's going to officially mark it as 2nd and 30 for the Olympians with 47 seconds left here in the first half. They lead by a score of 12-0. The Leuzinger band on the sideline waiting in eager anticipation to take the field and entertain the assembled crowd here tonight. And with the numbers we got here in the stands tonight for this contest, we can call this a crowd. Leuzinger fans showing a lot of support as they've got a good turnout in spite of the 0-4. And there's an interception there by the Olympians, by the Sentinels. And now we're going to have a flag on the play. A late flag thrown in by the referee.
They have a flag on the field, however.
On Okay, as we watch the replay here, you see Marshall dropping back, goes across the middle, and that's number 42 for the Sentinels who makes the pick. That's James Feeney. However, the referee saw something at the end of that play that he didn't like because he very animatedly threw his flag on the play. Okay, fans, we're back to live action, as you can see right here. And let's watch a replay of a play that just occurred. Of the prior play where the Sentinels picked up a first down on it. They're coming out of a timeout right now. We got 24 seconds left here in the first half. Ball's right at the mid-strip fight. 1st and 10. They go back to pass. They put it up. The good defensive play there. Good pass. Pass intended for Fletcher. On the defense for the Olympians was David Marshall, the quarterback. So David Marshall playing a little defensive back. So we got 18 seconds, and here you see the replay once again. Excellent defense there by Marshall. Oh. 14 seconds left now in the first half. Third and 10 now for the Sentinels. They drop back the pass. Quarterback under pursuit. And he's going to be brought down by number 50 for the Olympians. That's Darryl Guerin, one of the quarterbacks. One of the captains of the football team. 6'1", defensive lineman, senior. There you see Guerin with the rush. And with that play, that ends the first half right here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 20 with the Leuzinger Olympians leading at home by a score of 12-0 in search of their first victory of the season. Right now, things are looking good, fans, on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. Enjoy the halftime festivities, and we'll be back with you for the start of third quarter action.
Ladies and gentlemen, just want to remind you the snack bar is open, and we thank you so much for supporting Leuzinger Athletics. As the band comes out onto the field for your halftime entertainment,
All right, fans, we're back for second half action of tonight's contest between the Leuzinger Olympians and the Inglewood Sentinels. Leuzinger took a 12-0 lead into the locker room at halftime, courtesy of 2 touchdowns by David Marshall, the quarterback, both on quarterback keepers. First touchdown came in the first quarter, put Leuzinger up by a score of 6-0, 2-point conversion. Wasn't good. And then in the second quarter, with about 3.5 minutes left in the half, Leuzinger scored once again on a quarterback keeper by Marshall, the quarterback. Once again, the extra point attempt was no good, the 2-point conversion, I should say. And now Leuzinger will be kicking off to start second half action. There's a short kickoff going to be taken at about the 23-yard line by the Sentinels. They bring it back to the middle of the field, and from about the 36-yard line, excuse me. So it'll be Leuzinger ball, Inglewood ball, 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Sentinels were scoreless there in the first half. Try to get an angle on their quarterback once again to keep Grant at quarterback. And after a little movement in the backfield, they still failed to get back to the line of scrimmage. That was number 1, Gilmore, with the carry for the Sentinels. Here you'll see the replay once again. There's the pitch to Gilmore. And there you see Michaela missing along with Fontenot. But David Brown, number 22, once again there to make the stop. This time there's a pass in the flat to Fletcher. And Fletcher fights off a couple of defenders. before he's brought down by number 8, Michaela. And there you see Fletcher once again on the replay making the reception. Makes a couple of nice moves, trying to avoid the defender. And there you see him tucking the ball away as he's finally brought down. Makes it a 3rd down and 3 now for the Sentinels. Quick 3-step drop, and the quarterback Grant throws the ball short of his intended receiver, Gilmore. It's going to make it a 4th down and 3 now for the Sentinels. Back to receive the punt for the Olympians. Setting up at his own 30-yard line is going to be Foster. And the punt looks like it was blocked by the Olympians. Looked like number 8 got in on the block. And it'll be Leuzinger ball at the 33-yard line. It looked like that was Tavita Michaela in on the block for the Olympians. So the Olympians still got Marshall at quarterback. He hands off to Fontenot, the second man through, and he's going to be stopped for a no gain on the play. As a matter of fact, looks like it may be a loss of 3. No, they'll say he got back to the line of scrimmage, it appears. So it makes it a 2nd down and 10 now for the Olympians. We've just started 3rd quarter action. We've got 9:40 left in the 3rd quarter. Leuzinger leads by a score of 12-0 on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. The Olympians on the prowl for their first win of the season. Right now, things are looking good. Out of the eye, they give it to the second man through, who's Fontenot once again, and he gets stood straight up for no gain on the play. So Leuzinger now with a big 3rd down play coming up. This time they put Fontenot in the slot on the far side. Michaela, the only back, they drop back the pass, and there it is to Fontenot, and that's going to be a touchdown. Touchdown for the Olympians. 30-yard touchdown pass from Marshall to Fontenot, and there you see Fontenot on your screen. So the Olympians with 8:22 left in the 3rd quarter strike for a 30-yard touchdown pass from Marshall to Fontenot. And the extra point attempt is no good. So Leuzinger now leads by a score of 18-0 with 8:22 left in the 3rd quarter. on Lawndale's Community Cable, Channel 22. So Leuzinger comes out quickly in the third quarter and expands their lead to 18. As I told you fans at the outset, although Leuzinger came into the game with an 0-4 record, it was a very deceptive 0-4 because they played a tough preseason schedule against some very good teams. And some coaches take that strategy, both in football, basketball, and all sports. They like to play tough teams early to get their teams conditioned, not so much to losing, but to playing against quality competition. And now here's a chance. Looks like Fletcher may take it all the way back. He's got one man to beat, number 2, and he's going to be brought down at the 20-yard line. Making the touchdown-saving tackle for the Olympians was Chester Johnson, 5'9", junior. Leuzinger giving up the big play, though, on special teams. And now Inglewood, with what is definitely their best field position of the game, has the ball 1st and 10 at the Leuzinger 20-yard line. Grant drops back to pass. Flag on the play. He hits Fletcher for the touchdown, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what the flag is. Leuzinger, some of the Leuzinger defenders seem to think that it's against Inglewood. And it is. That's the indication from the referee, Frank Johnson. Let's hear the official call. So the touchdown goes for naught. They back him up 5 yards, so it must have been a motion penalty. This time they go to Fletcher again out in the flat, but he's going to be wrapped up after a pretty good gain on the play. Making the tackle for the Olympians was Alpha English. English, a senior who's been around this Leuzinger football program for a long time. Let's watch that last play again. Here you see the pass out into the flat on the wide side. English steps up, fights off the stiff arm, wraps him up real good, and does a nice cowboy takedown. So it's a 2nd down and 1 now for the Sentinels. As the ball is at the 11, they need to get to the 10, and there you got the left side of the Inglewood line, big number 58, who jumps off sides. Easy play to call there. That was Brandon Clay, who jumped offside. So it takes a 2nd and 1 and now makes it a 2nd down and 6. We got 6:50 left here in the third quarter. Leuzinger leading by a score of 18-0, but the Sentinels are on the move. Grant still the quarterback. This time he hands off to Gilmore, and Gilmore runs right into the arms of Fontenot, number 7, and number 55 on the Leuzinger defense. That's Bo Mwai. There you see the replay once again. Also in there was Michaela. So it's a 3rd down and 3 for the Sentinels now. Jump pass, nearly intercepted there by Foster for the Olympians. Incompletion is going to make it a 4th down for the Sentinels here with 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. There's a pass and the flat touchdown. And that touchdown goes to, in our program, Andre Bowman. Let's watch it again. There it is, single coverage with Marshall, the quarterback, making the play. Nice fade to the corner.
Inglewood 6.
And now Inglewood prepares to go for 2. And the referee indicates that the 2-point conversion is good. So that makes our score now 18-8 with 5:33 left in the 3rd quarter.
5:33 left in the quarter.
There you see our score. Leuzinger 18, Inglewood 8 on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. So there goes the shutout, but Leuzinger still right now in command with a 10-point lead. Kickoff taken by number 2 for the Olympians. He's got some running room, looking for a couple of blocks, finally brought down at midfield. That's Johnson on the return. Chester Johnson takes it out across the midfield stripe into Inglewood territory at the Inglewood 49-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Olympians. Here you see Johnson taking the kickoff. Hits the hole before he bounces outside. Now he comes around right in front of you. There's Fontenot out blocking in front for him. Fontenot takes the carry. Boy, he was a step away from hitting the corner. Good tackle there by the Sentinel defender. Fontenot seems to be one of those kind of backs who gets stronger as the game goes on, because although that was only a 2-yard gain, quite frankly, that was his most fluid run of the night that I've seen, fans. 2nd down and 8 for the Olympians now. They keep it on the ground once again to Fontenot, and he nearly loses the ball. In fact, it comes loose, but he regains possession of it. The indication seems to be that there was no gain on the play. So with 4:26 left in the third quarter, Leuzinger right now leading by a score of 18-8. They've got the ball with 3rd and 8 from the 48. So 8's a while right now, fans. Big third down play for the Olympians here, though. They line up in the I formation. They give it off to the second back through. They're going to be stopped short of the first down. They pick up about 3 on the play. They needed to get to the 40. Actually inside the 40. So it's going to be a 4th and about 6 for the Olympians. Foster, number 5 for the Olympians, drops back to punt. Back to receive the punt for the Sentinels is Gilmore. They fake it and they keep it on the ground, but they're going to be short. So Coach Greer goes into his bag of tricks, but he comes up a little bit short on the play. So the Sentinels, who made one goal line stand tonight, they come back to stuff the 4th down play by the Olympians, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Sentinels from their own 41-yard line. They've got a little momentum going their way now, fans. There we go, quarterback keeper, driven out of bounds. Over on the far sideline, picks up about 2 on the play. We got 3:05 left here in the third quarter. Leuzinger leading by a score of 18-8. 2nd down and 8 for the Sentinels. And the sophomore Grant still in, and Fletcher drops the pass. May have heard footsteps on that play. Fletcher walking back with his head down, knowing that was a play that he should have made. His quarterback comes over, gives him an inspirational pat on the butt, tells him that's okay, I'm coming right back at you again. Third down and 8 for the Sentinels now. The quarterback drops back to pass, lays it out long, and just off the fingertips of Fletcher, but the back judge comes in with a flag. Looks like it's going to be defensive interference on Alpha English. English clapping his hands, though, as if though he thinks it's going against Fletcher. Well, from that angle, it's hard to see, but the back judge certainly threw the flag on the play. Okay, we're looking at the replay once again, and there you see the defender, right, number 11, with a hand on Fletcher. And they're going to call defensive holding, automatic first down. So, the Sentinels now in Leuzinger territory, fans. Starting to get nervous time a little bit here. I told you, the Sentinels' last possession was pretty good. This time they keep it on the ground, and Leuzinger stops it for no gain. Our score right now, 18-8 with 2:39 left in the first half. Excuse me, what am I talking about? Left in the third quarter. Drops back to pass, throws it in the flat. Once again, hits his receiver, number 8. That was Marshall with the coverage, and it brings him down at the 20-yard line. But making the reception for the Sentinels is Andre Bowman. And that fade pass is really starting to work for the Sentinels. And with 2:01 left here in the third quarter, this game's starting to tighten up a whole lot, fans. It was only a couple of minutes ago that Leuzinger was leading by a score of 18-0. Now it's only 18-8, and the Sentinels are threatening again. And Leuzinger comes up with it. Quite frankly, I'm watching the play, and I didn't see that. I'd love to see the replay on that, though. Coming away with it was Lamar Johnson, 175-pound senior. Okay, let's go to replay here. Okay. Oh, okay, so when he hit the hole, he hit somebody's back, and the contact caused the ball to come loose. There you got Fontenot with the carry for no gain. Let's look at that fumble. All right, we're going to take another look at that turnover, fans. Hey, okay, there you see. Okay, so there's miscommunication there. Number 34 should have took the handoff, but didn't even go for it. Leuzinger comes up with the turnover. So the Sentinels squander a golden opportunity. Here's a new running back for the Olympians, number 1. He picks up a first down. Now he fumbles. The ball's loose. Let's see who's got it. And looks like Leuzinger still has it. That's Johnson on the carry, Lamar Johnson. I mean, running like a big bulldozer. There you see the ball get stripped there at the very end. But Leuzinger, one of the linemen, very successfully comes up with it. And Fontenot takes it out to near midfield.
Up to the 47-yard line.
Leuzinger needs to get to about the 48-yard line of the Sentinels in order to pick up the first down. Let's call it a 2nd down and 4 for the Olympians. And that will be the end of the third quarter. So after 3 quarters, our score, Leuzinger 18, the Sentinels of Inglewood 8. With Leuzinger in possession to start the 4th quarter right here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22.
And you'll collect your money at the snack bar. How much money is there, sir? $25? Better to kick it in. Reach it in. Okay. Are you folks ready? If you are holding ticket number 573489, you have just won $55. Pick up your money at the snack bar or repeat the number for you.
Okay, we're back for fourth quarter action, fans.
489, $25.
Leuzinger ball. They're calling it 2nd and 4 officially.
489.
And movement on the Leuzinger offensive line. That's going to back them up 5 yards. It'll make it a 2nd down and 9 now.
We'll give you one more call. Everybody with 50-50 tickets. 573. The last three numbers are
Referee
4, 8, 9.
gives the indication that it's a false start against the offense. So it's now a 2nd down and 9 for the Olympians.
Leuzinger with the ball, no gain on the last play. Ball is at 43-yard line. 2nd and 4. 2nd and 10.
Marshall under center, drops back, looks to pass, hits his receiver number 11, English, and it's good enough for the first down. Big 3rd down play for the Olympians. And they could make the 3rd down conversion. There you see English on your screen.
All right, we're going to pick another winner. Unless you are going to identify yourself now. If you are ticket number 489, make a lot of noise, Ranger, and wave your hands all around the building here. I know.
So Leuzinger now at their own at the 45-yard line of Inglewood. They keep it on the ground with Fontenot. He picks up about 3 on the carry. Leuzinger will go into, I'm sure, some version of ball control. Trying to run a little clock time now. But you don't want to get too far out of your game plan and out of your normal rhythm. Still plenty of time left in the game. 11 minutes left in the contest. Leuzinger leading by a score of 18-8. Once again, they keep it on the ground, this time for another very short game. Third down and 5 for the Olympians now. They set up out of in the I formation. Fontenot to deep back. They fake the handoff. Now there's the option. Boom! Fontenot takes a big hit from Fletcher. And Fontenot is still down on the field. It would appear we're going to have a referee injury timeout. Here you see on the replay, as Fontenot has to wait for it. Can't really grasp the complete impact of that hit. And there you see Fontenot coming off under his own sting. Looking good. Wanting to go back in, and one of the sideline coaches said, "No, go ahead, take a play off, son." Probably still just a little bit woozy. Good coaching there by the Leuzinger coaching staff. High snap, but they get the punt away. Actually a very good punt. Fletcher handles it. Now in the pursuit, and Marshall gets a hand on him, and they bring him down inside the 10. It'll be Sentinel ball, 1st and 10. We've got 9:47 left in the contest, fans, on Lawndale's Community Cable, Channel 22. As I mentioned to you before, these broadcasts brought to you courtesy of the Lawndale City Council and the Lawndale Cable Usage Corporation. No, we've got 9:47 left in the third quarter. Got a flag that's going to go. Looks like against the Olympians.
The Olympians moves the ball back to the 45, call it 46-yard line. Creates the punting situation again.
So Foster will punt again for the Olympians.
As Foster standing on his own 42, getting ready to punt.
Here's the snap, gets the punt away. Another good punt. Leuzinger has coverage down there, and they fall on it. Inside the 20 at about the 15-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Sentinels with 9:31 left here in the contest.
Inside the 20-yard line. Inglewood takes over. 1st and 10.
Another fade pass. This time it goes nowhere, but there is a flag on the play.
Brandon, pass incomplete. 2nd and 10.
The field judge threw that flag. Let's see who this is going to go against. Going to get another call here from the official. It's defensive holding. That's going to be an automatic 1st down for the Sentinels.
Penalty against Inglewood. Holding on the defense. 1st down. Automatic 1st down. Penalty against the Olympians.
Say 1st and 10 for the Sentinels now. Ball at the 25-yard line. Grant, the quarterback, drops back to pass once again. Nice tight spiral intended for Fletcher. Defense being provided there by Chester Johnson, number 2 for the Olympians. There you see Leuzinger coming on the blitz there with number 7, Fontenot. But Chester Johnson providing good defensive coverage there.
Chester Johnson on superb defense for Leuzinger.
Once again, Grant drops back to pass. This time his pass incomplete at the feet of Fletcher. So it's going to be a 3rd down and 10 now for the Sentinels.
So that will make it 3rd and 10 from the 25.
Of course, all these incompletions have a way of elongating the game because the clock stops with each incompletion. Pursuit there by the Olympians results in a blitz. In a sack.
David Brown. Big loss.
Well, there's a name we've called quite often tonight, number 22, David Brown. Here, let's watch the replay one more time. And there you see Grant trying to get away, but as we've noted before, once David Brown gets his hands on you, you're going down. It's as simple as that. So now it's a 4th down and 20 for the Sentinels. They're going to punt. Foster back to receive the punt. There it is. And Leuzinger is going to stay away from it. And it'll be down by the Sentinels at their own 44-yard line. So with 8:21 left in the contest,
The Olympians
Leuzinger takes possession at the Inglewood 44-yard line, leading by a score of 18-8. And there you see Fontenot with the carry one more time for no gain on the play. And maybe a cramp there, looks like it's no, that's not Johnson. That's Fontenot that's down on the field. Johnson is in the huddle, number 1. And there you see Therian Fontenot getting up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's one tough Olympian. Give a big round of applause. We play the hell game. Number 7, Therian Fontenot.
Fontenot comes off at least for a play, if not a couple more. And this is one of the things that Coach Greer spoke about early in the game, that because of the depth problem, Leuzinger has a tendency to tire toward the end of the contest. Right now it's a contest they're winning by 10 points. Let's see if they can hold on. Nice slant play run there by Chad Foster, I should say. It's going to be a 3rd and short for the Olympians. Once again, the crowd starts to get a bit unruly here, which doesn't speak well for the Leuzinger student body, as a number of people are running to see what's going on in the vicinity. Can somebody in the truck give us a clue as to what's going on out there? It's hard to say exactly what's going on, but we're going to stay with the ball game as Leuzinger is punting. And the punt sails out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Where it's going to be Sentinel ball. 1st and 10 with 6:20 left in the contest.
Inglewood takes over 1st and 10. Ball is at the 34-yard line. They'll take over.
My only concern is for my Rolls Royce that's parked in the vicinity of the disturbance. I don't think folks can appreciate how much windows on a Rolls Royce cost. Back to live action on the field, fans, because that's what we come to see. And I'm going to offer a little commentary at this point, unsolicited though it may be. I think the student body at Leuzinger needs to understand that this type of behavior does not reflect well upon their school, and it only feeds certain attitudes that a number of people perceive. Well, Leuzinger students, fans, and supporters need to understand that this type of behavior only feeds certain attitudes that a number of people have about the program here, which for the most part I have traditionally defended as being unfair and not reflective of the greater majority of students and supporters of this school and its athletic programs. But it's up to you to conduct yourself in a manner that brings respect from the public to your school and to yourself. Yeah. Because our purpose here is to focus on the game to bring this entertainment to the fans of Leuzinger sports. 3rd down and 4 now for the Sentinels. Leuzinger shows blitz. They come with it. But they pull the reverse on them. It's Fletcher with the ball. Fletcher makes a nice juke move, but he's finally driven out of bounds by Johnson.
Dropped out of bounds with great authority by Mark Johnson. Short of the first down marker, so it'd be 4th and short.
Here you see the replay once again. And you can see that reverse coming all the way. But Fletcher
Ladies and gentlemen, play-by-play of this football game will be repeated tonight on CityTV channel 22. Play-by-play of Regis Washington. Don't miss any of the action tonight. You see it all at Channel 22.
So the Sentinels go for it on 4th down. Looks like they're going to be stopped short. This will be an interesting spot because our angle is very tough on this play. Leuzinger seems to think that they've stopped them. But the official indication from the referee is that it's a 1st down. So with 5:16 left in the contest, Inglewood still clinging to some hope here. They need 2 scores, of course, as they trail by 10 points at 18-8. Once again, Grant drops back to pass. And this is his intended receiver, who was Marvin Banks. And I'll tell you what, Banks is a little guy. He's listed at 170 pounds, 5'9". I can tell you from here, he ain't 5'9", and he ain't 170.
Ladies and gentlemen, just want to remind you, 2 weeks from tonight, your Olympians will be home against Culver City. They're on the road next week going up to Beverly Hills, playing CIF. They face the action.
So it's a 2nd down and 10 for the Sentinels now. Leuzinger once again showing blitz, and they come with it, and that's Michaela with the tackle. Sacks him on the play for a loss of 4. We'll make it a 3rd down and 14 now for the Sentinels. Clock now becomes an enemy of the Sentinel effort as there's only 4:25 left. Here you'll see the replay. On the replay, Michaela getting in to make the stop. So Leuzinger right now feeling quite enthusiastic about their effort, as well they should be, because it looks like they're going to get that goose egg off of their record. Gives us an opportunity. There you see Coach Greer with a smile on his face, certainly feeling real good about his situation right now, or his team's situation, I should say, because his team has a 10-point lead with 4.5 minutes left. Gives us an opportunity to thank all the crew here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22, including Jose Bravo, Andre Guglielmo, Billy Barnes, Robert Medina, all working camera and video. A technical director, Mr. Tom Strickfadden. And of course, the executive producer, Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22, in every facet of its productions, but particularly in the sports area, Mr. Mike Galarza. And of course, joining you for the 10th year, and it's been 10 fun-filled years. I'm Rufus Washington. It's a pleasure, and we hope you enjoy the effort that we bring you each week. There's a pitch back on the option pass. Should be offensive interference there, it looks like to me. That was Fletcher. Fletcher pushed off on Alpha English. Let's see if the official saw it the way I saw it. And it looks like that's what the call is going to be as the official brings the ball back up to, seemingly brings the ball back up to the line of scrimmage. Let's watch the replay again on a halfback option. And there you see clear. You could call that with braille, as Chick Hearn would say. Fletcher with the push off. That was Marvin Banks, number 3, with the making the pass on the halfback option. Oh, wow, but what a... Well, maybe you can't call it with braille. Maybe you need a CNI dog to be able to call that. Because that certainly looked like offensive interference to me. But the official saw it the other way. And there's the indication from the referee, Frank Johnson, that they considered it to be defensive interference. And so Sentinels maintain possession and get a first down out the deal. Once again, they drop back the pass. Pass over the middle. Good tackle there by Michaela. You got to ask yourself, fans, and I want you to watch this Leuzinger defense very closely from here throughout the rest of the game, because you got to ask yourself, as you see Michaela make the tackle on the replay, is the lack of depth, which causes fatigue, becoming an issue for the Olympians now. There's another pass in the flat, and that one's incomplete. That's Alpha English on the coverage. That pass intended for Fletcher. So you've got best on best right now. 3:47 left in the contest. It's going to be a second down and 10 for the Sentinels. Ball spotted at the 35-33 yard line. Sentinels need a quick score here, and obviously an onside kick. And David Brown gets a hand on that pass and knocks it down. That's going to bring up a third long now for the Sentinels. There you see David Brown, the sophomore, on your screen. This guy has a big future ahead of him here in this Leuzinger football program. Third down and 10. Grant drops back the pass. On the pursuit, escapes one player, hits the corner, now puts it up, and it's going to be incomplete. So with that incompletion and 3:33 exactly left in the contest, we're going to take a station break right here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 60. All right, we're back to live action, fans, and it's fourth down. 4th and 10 for the Sentinels. They're obviously going for it. They don't have any choice now. Grant drops back the pass. He eludes a couple of tackles at the line of scrimmage. If he can break the line, he's got a chance, but he can't. As Alpha English comes up from his defensive back position to make the tackle, and Leuzinger will take possession with 3:21 left in the contest. Leuzinger now needing to pick up at least one first down. There you see Grant, the quarterback, maintaining possession, doing a lot of stutter stepping, cuts through. Now English is a defensive back. English sees that it's a running play all the way. He steps up to make the nice wrap-up tackle. So it's 1st and 10 for the Olympians. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. Out of the eye. They keep it on the ground. Whoa. Well, it's still going to be Olympian football, although one of the Sentinels came out of there with it. Referee just, the officiating crew just a little late on that whistle, as they have been several times during this game, on recognizing that the forward momentum of the offensive player has been stopped, and therefore the play should be considered dead at that point. We got 2:40 left in the contest. Leuzinger leading by a score of 18-8, trying to run the clock out here. It's a 2nd down and 8 for the Olympians. Once again, they keep it on the ground, and they're going to get nothing on this play. That's Brown with the carry. Now you see a timeout. Looks like that timeout's being taken by Inglewood with 2:25 left in the contest. I'm going to check with the truck fans to see where Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22 is going to be next week. All right, we'll move across town and bring you a contest from Hawthorne High. Don't have their opponent in front of me right now, but that's sufficient information for you to know where to go next Friday night rather, at 7:30. So we want you to join us again next Friday night on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22 as we feature the Hawthorne Cougars in another exciting Bay League matchup. Leuzinger now with the 3rd and 8. They fake the handoff. Marshall keeps it. Marshall's going to be thrown for a loss. And with 2:15 and the clock running left in the contest, Leuzinger's going to be forced to punt. So Leuzinger didn't achieve their primary objective on that series of downs, which obviously would have been to pick up a 1st down, which would allow them to maintain possession and continue to run the clock out. Now with the minute 50 seconds and the clock continuing to run, Leuzinger obviously is going to take the delay of game penalty here, I would expect. No, they don't. They go ahead and kick it. A low line drive kick. Fletcher comes up with it. David Marshall's back there, and it goes down, and you got a couple of flags on the play. You may have a clip on this. The ball right now is spotted at the 33-yard line of the Sentinels, but this may get backed up 15 yards. 1:31 left in the contest. The referee will now give us the indication, and as we aptly predicted, you'll see here on the replay, there was a clip. And it looks like they clipped David Marshall. There you see the clip right there in the back. And that was by number 3, Marvin Banks. So that's going to back the Sentinels up to their 18-yard line, it should be. They're going to spot it officially at the 19. We won't quibble about that at this stage of the contest. And for those of you who live in Hawthorne and you want to see these games broadcast on your cable system, you need the right time warning. Let them know. There's an interception by Alpha English. So Leuzinger is going to get the ball right back. English intercepts it at the 35-yard line of the Sentinels. It'll be Leuzinger's ball, 1st and 10. Let's watch the replay one more time of this interception by Alpha English. And there you see him just go right over Barnes, Marvin Banks rather, to make the exception, to make the interception. No harm there, Billy Barnes, I hope. Leuzinger now in the eye. Once again, we'll keep it on the ground. That's Michaela. Michaela keeps digging. And the field's got beaten up pretty good, but we can tell that he's inside the 30-yard line at about the 29. Clock continues to run. We're under just at a minute now. Got an official timeout on the play. There you see Michaela with the run, meets the tackler head on, makes a nice spin move, nearly breaks out of it. Sentinels reaching and grabbing for the ball instead of tackling, trying to strip it. Of course, that's what they want right now is a turnover. So Leuzinger comes into this game, and quite frankly, fans, they did everything tonight that Coach Greer told me they had to do. As you watch the replay one more time of Kavita Michaela with the carry. There you see it. And those are some strong arms there, the way they were reaching it for him to maintain possession. Leuzinger wanted to control the ball. They've done that. They wanted to play good defense. They've done that. They wanted to cause turnovers. They've done that. Having done all three of those things, that adds up to Leuzinger's first victory of the season. So our hats off to the Leuzinger Olympians, as we can put this one in the bank, baby. This W is banked for the Olympians, and they will now raise their overall record to 1-4. Their Bay League record will go to 1-1. We didn't get much of an opportunity to talk tonight about the realignment in the Bay League, but we'll bring that discussion to you next week, because the Bay League looks completely different this year, fans. We've had a wholesale realignment in the southern section, so some of the teams that Leuzinger has played over the last 5 years are no longer in the Bay League, and we'll talk about that next week. Gives us something to talk about. We've got 1 minute left in the contest. Leuzinger leading by a score of 18-8. We're going to live action as Leuzinger heads up to the line of scrimmage. Now they come back. Referee now signals to put the ball in play. Clock starts to run again. We're under a minute. It is 2nd down and 3. Leuzinger makes a quarterback change, puts Foster at QB. He hands out to Michaela, and Michaela takes it down to the 12-yard line. It's going to be a first down for the Olympians. 1st and 10. For the Olympians with 39 seconds left here in the contest. So, once again, let's give a tip of the hat to the Leuzinger football team. They get the goose egg off their record. They up it now to 1-4, 1-1 in Bay League action. So, believe it or not, fans, Leuzinger still in the hunt for a playoff spot. Now you see movement. This may go against the Sentinels. I know the last thing you saw was the contact by the Leuzinger offensive lineman. Let's see how the official calls it. He calls it against the Olympians. Of course, the Olympians won't sweat that too much now, not with 12 seconds left. They've got possession of the ball. And there you see. See, that's what I thought. Number 42 on the Sentinels certainly encroached. And that's where the penalty should have occurred, but they called the Leuzinger offensive lineman for the movement. So on Monday, all you Leuzinger fans, let's give a congratulations. And that's the end of the ball game, fans. Although we got flags on the play, let's see what the officials call, because as you know, the game can't end on a defensive play, but Leuzinger decides that that's the ball game. They decline the penalty. They'll take the win, So, our final score from Olympian Field, Leuzinger records their first victory of the season by a score of 18-8 over the Inglewood Sentinels, and you were able to see it right here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 60. So for the entire crew here at Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 60, I'm Rufus Washington saying thank you for joining us tonight. Join us next week from Hawthorne High, and we'll see you then. Good night, everybody.